Wai tawa, puti tua, puti waho, te pake ato raka o maere nuku, o maere raki, o maere te maro whenua. I ruka tāne, i raro tāne, paku o tāne, te raki ihi o tāne, no hako te araki hoatu e tāne kiuta. Tuturu whiti whakamaua kia tūina. O mi e hui e tāi ki e. Ko te me tūtai ki te rukurawa no nā te timataka no nā te whakamutunga. Kaori noi ana hoki. Nāna tātou katoa mana ki te aki ka wā katoa. Ko huri au ki a rātou ko he atu ki te pō, moi mai rā oki mai. Kauraka e ware ia i a koutou ko he atu ki te pō, moi mai, tiraha, whakatā. Tātou ki a rātou, tātou ki a tātou, no reira tēnā koutou katoa, nau mai hara mai ki te hui nei. Te hui o te kaunera tai au ki Waitaha, te nama Rimarau, Rima te kaumā ono, i tēnei wā, te wā o te kirimete, nei rā te mihi o te āhuatanga o te wā, hei whakanui i te wā whānau, i tēnei wā, no reira tēnā koutou, kia koe, Yvonne, nau mai hara mai wakinui a mātou, i tēnei wā, ko te kōrero e pāna te pūroko tau, me te mahi o te kai tātari pūtia. Nō reira tēnā koutou, huri noa, tēnā tata katoa, nai te wā pita, e te che.
Thank you, Jan. And thank you, councillors, for attending this morning. We've got 11 councillors and we only needed 8 for a quorum, so 3 of you could have actually gone on holiday early, but thank you very much for that. It's pleasing to see. This is the 556th council meeting. Today's meeting is an extraordinary meeting where we will be receiving and adopting the annual report. We do have a quorum. If there's any change in the order of business, it must be stated now at the beginning of the meeting, and I don't think there is. We've only one item on the agenda. And we should just note that because this is an extraordinary meeting, neither business can be discussed or brought to the meeting under our standing orders 9.4 order of business. So thank you. Moving to 2, we have apologies received from Councillor Southworth, Councillor Robinson, Councillor Diche, Councillor Pauling and Councillor Davies. And there are no other apologies from councillors. Anybody have any conflicts of interest in terms of the business we're about to discuss? No, so we'll move to 4.1, adoption of the 2021-22 annual report. It's on page 5 of your agenda, and the recommendation is on page 5 also. Before it says here, before we finish the last Tronium speeches, I don't know if we're going to get into that again, are we? I hope not. That we will go on forever. Well, the speeches we've gone through. So the motion that we have in front of us, Brian, do you want to speak to that, and then we can see if there's any clarification?
We're very pleased to be able to present the 21-22 annual report to the council. It has been a slightly later adoption point than normal years, obviously because of the COVID impact on the audit timetable which has occurred. But I'm extraordinarily pleased to be able to thank Audit New Zealand for the incredible dedication, late night hours and suffering they've been through in order to get us to this point before our statutory deadlines, and also at the same time thank our own corporate reporting team for doing a brilliant job working with Audit New Zealand in order to achieve this. Really the paper I think can be taken as read. I do believe you received a second copy of the annual report on Sunday, and there are some minor differences between that and the original draft paper that you saw. So we will just put the summary slide up on the screen and just briefly talk to some of those changes, and then we can proceed from there. Perfect. Clearly the process is at this point a number of minor changes in an ongoing effort to perfect the publishable version of the report. The main differences that occurred between the original copy, which went out with the first set of papers, and the weekend's version, breaks down to 6 items fundamentally. First one being clarification of major variances. On page 63 of the annual report, we've included a discussion of the balance sheet and cash flow movement variances. Previously, we'd only talked about what was in the revenue statement, but that has now been embellished further by discussion of those items at the recommendation of audit. The second one is the updated figures in the prudence graphs. They were just updated to the final numbers which are currently in the report in order to make them match. So a simple updating at this point. That's on page 114 to 118. The third one being in the notes to the financial statements presented for the first time, some reformatting of the receivables note and the payables note. Once again, at audit advice to just make it clearer for the reader, but no change to the actual numbers themselves. Number 4 being clarification of the status of contingent liabilities. This particularly applies to the holiday pays issue, which was about including some wording where we expect the range of outcomes to be in 0.3 to 0.8% of total pay at this point. So it's just basically adding a little additional information for the readers to be able to understand what we're talking about. Number 5, the incorporated wording change for the climate change levy was as per Claire Mackay's suggestion. And number 6, the annual report summary needed to clearly note the prior year balances have been restated, where previously they just presented themselves as 2021. They now have in brackets restated as per the main report. So as you can see, the differences between the two reports at this stage highlight for people very much what minor changes means in terms of we're just perfecting the presentation of wording in some areas of the report, and audit will be checking off the final version of this at the end of the process. So any questions at this point?
Thank you, Brian. Any further questions of clarification required of Brian? Thanks, Brian. You can step back. So the resolution is there, approves the table draft 2021-22 annual report and annual summary of the financial reports for the year ended 30th of June 2022. Do I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Edge, and a seconder, please. Thank you, Councillor Swiggs. All those in favour, please say aye. All those against, that's carried. So my understanding is that we're going to do 2 and 3 together, and once we have a mover and seconder here, we will sign the letter. Sign the representation letter. It's pretty straightforward.
Sorry, I just have a question, Mr. Chair. So any of those minor changes, we then alert you, Giles, to it?
What's any minor changes to breach governance?
Anybody else seeking clarification of where we're at? Okay, so those 2 resolutions are on the screen. Delegates to the Director of Corporate Services the authority to make alteration to minor effect or to correct any minor errors. The approved 2021-22 annual report, and 3, authorise the Chair and the Director of Corporate Services to sign the representation letter to the auditor. Can I have a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Cranwell. Thank you, Councillor East, for seconding that. All those in favour, please say aye. All those against, that is carried. I think the formalities now we sign. We're just waiting for the letter, so we'll just adjourn for the letter. Problem with the printer. Sorry, at the top of this meeting, I forgot to introduce Oliver, who's sitting up the top here. Oliver's now joined the governance team and is in charge up here. Is he in charge? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Not yet. Not yet. But welcome, Oliver. Good to see you here. Councillor Sunkel commented that we've got some gender diversity at the top end of the table, which is good, bad, or indifferent. I'm not sure about that. Okay, we'll go back on. We'll resume now. We have the letters in front of us. I don't think we need a round of applause for that, actually. But what we will do, what's that? Trumpets and fanfare, no, maybe not even that. But we'll move to 4 and ask Yvonne to come to the table. Yvonne. So what we'll do here is Yvonne's going to come up and talk to the report, and then we're going to distribute the report. Is that right, Catherine? Or we're going to distribute the report now? Yes, I think that's a great idea. Fantastic. So we're going to distribute the auditor's report so that you can look at it and see what you're agreeing to. Yvonne, do you think we should just read it first and then go to you?
I'm happy to give everyone a few minutes to read through.
Let's do this. So once the report is distributed, councillors will get 3 or 4 minutes to read it, and then we'll go to Yvonne, and then we'll pass the motion, hopefully. Right, thank you, councillors. We'll move on. Yvonne, if you would now like to speak.
Hello, everyone. Hi, all the councillors. So I'm here to present our independent audit report for Canterbury Regional Council's annual report for the year ended 30th June 2022, and then the summary annual report for the same year end. For the opinion, we are comfortable the financial statement, the funding impact statement, and the financial benchmarking statement and the statement of service performance are all presented fairly in all material aspects, meaning that I have signed a clean audit report to Environment Canterbury, and there is no unresolved issues or uncorrected material misstatement. And if I just talk through the audit report quickly, the first page stipulates all the fact about the audit report is claimed, and your annual report has been presented fairly in all material aspects. And then the second paragraph is the basis of our audit opinion. And then we talk through the responsibilities for the council for the audited information, and then our responsibility for the audit information, which are all standard wordings as previous year. And the last 2 paragraphs are about the other information that we are not required to report on in terms of any assurance or any misstatements. We only focus on the material inconsistency with the audited information which we have found done. The last paragraph is about our independence declaration. Apart from the debenture trust audit, we have not involved in any other audit or assurance work. I haven't put my signature there just because I'm waiting for the final version that we found a very minor formatting page issue. So the page number might be changed a little bit, but otherwise it wouldn't change my opinion substantially. Happy to take any questions.
Thanks, Yvonne. It's always a relief to get an unmodified report that says it's clean with no material differences. So to all our staff in the organisation, it's always great to have that, and thank you for your work. Given there are no material issues, are there any issues of significance that you have found that maybe are not material that might require some work going into the future?
If you read the rep letter, there's an appendix listed all the uncorrected misstatement that over our reporting threshold, but under our performance materiality. I wouldn't say it is a significant issue, but we identified this cutoff issue in relation to payables and accruals. I think going forward, we would recommend the management to look into the year-end process and then making sure the enhancement made in relation to all the supply invoices.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Like John, it's always impressive to give an unqualified report from the audit. So thank you for that, and thank the staff for ensuring that was done. Just on page 4, well, you flagged a couple of times that you haven't got the records and documentation in terms of Metro card revenue and balance to the tune of 3.4 million. That's purely. Are you concerned about the number, or just is there any concern about that number, or is it just the fact that you can't, the full documentation isn't there?
Yeah, the balance is obviously accumulating year on year. It is still below our performance materiality. However, I know management is in the process of upgrading the ticketing system. Before that, it is not possible for them to actually provide us with the documentation to support that balance in relation to the historical deposit in the Metro card.
So is it inappropriate to ask what that range of numbers might be if there is uncertainty there? Have you any view of that?
I think the number is there, but we can't really get the supporting evidence in terms of how much of that should be actually written off and how much of that should stay. I think there's no sufficient information for us or for the management to further take action on it until the new ticketing system is implemented.
So this is an issue that's been identified in previous years. It's a long-standing issue with the Metro card system. As Yvonne says, the move to the national ticketing system, hopefully by the middle of 24, will address the issue going forward. But for the time being, I would anticipate we'll have a similar statement in this year's annual report, as it is an issue that is known about, but the time and effort to resolve doesn't justify the ends.
Thank you. Other councillors? Any questions of Yvonne? Thank you, Yvonne, for that. I think there's a good point here that said reading the summary of the annual report and the auditor's report is no substitute for reading the full report. So maybe that's an opportunity at Christmas to get your needle and go for it. Thank you, Dion. I'm sure you will. Right. The resolution receives the independent auditor's report of Environment Canterbury annual report and annual report summary for the year ended 30th of June 2022 is up on the screen. Moved by Councillor Swiggs, second by Councillor Ward. All those in favour, please say aye. Thank you. And then moving straight to 5. Carried, sorry. I forget to say carried. We can move straight to 5, Catherine McMillan. We can. So there you are, adopts the 2021-22 audited annual report and annual report summary. Would someone like to move that? Thank you, Councillor McKenzie, second by Councillor East. All those in favour, please say aye. All those against, that is carried. Okay, next meeting of council is on Wednesday, the 15th of February, 2023.
Kia ora tātou. Nei te mihi kia koe pera I whakahaere tēnei hui, te hui whakamutunga mo te tau nei, no reira tēnā koe mo tō mahi whakahaere. Aha koe he poto, he rawe wai mahi. Koutou katoa ngā kai kaunihera, kia pai te krimete ke te heki mai nei me te wā whakatā. Ko te tūmanako, kua I te wā hoki mai a te ratau, kua tau te mauri, kua rite tātou katoa mo te mahi kei mua ia tātou katoa. Mihi hoki ki ngā kaimahi, kauri ki konei Stephanie, engari ko te kāhui rangatira, Giles, Tim, Catherine, Teflin, koutou mā. Nei te mihi ki o koutou me ngā mahi kaimahi katoa, o te kaunira tai o ki Waitaha, he rawe te mahi. Just quickly, wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas. Looking forward to the break. Enjoy the break for us councillors. Get ready for a big 2023, the year ahead. Looking forward to coming back. And Stephanie's not here, but to Giles and the team, everyone from from Environment Canterbury. Enjoy the. Well, I don't know much break you'll get, but I know the council as well. Anyway, but no, enjoy the break. Looking forward to 2023. Enjoy the family time, and then come back nice and safe for next year. Nō reira, huri no, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa, hei tākana nei te Karakia, hei whakakape. Ai kia tau ka minaki taka ka mea karo ki ruka ki tēnā o tātou, ko mahi tuhua mai kihiki, kia toi te kupu, toi te reo, toi te aroha, tūturu whiti whakamaua ki a tīna. Au mea hui e, ai kia, auri ora.